is due to the strong support we gave to households. So demand has been strong, and households have shifted their demand. They're buying things instead of buying services, and things go through ports. They have to be built, and that is causing the bottlenecks in the supply chain.
Wow. Amazing, isn't it? Joining me now is Ohio Congressman Jim Jordan, author of the new book, Do What You Said You Would Do. Also with me is Arizona Congressman Andy Biggs. Congressman Jordan, let me start with you. That kind of an excuse, Sure. It's as though it's like, oh, well, Americans never ordered things before. It's Americans' fault. We want items now. And so that's creating a problem. It's as though with everything we've heard, there's this dance to make it seem as though we're the ones at fault, or that it really isn't happening at all. What's your take on this?
Everything costs more is my take on it. The American people understand it. You want to buy a home, it costs more. You want to rent an apartment, it costs more. To put food on the table, it costs more. To put gas in your car, it costs more. To buy a Thanksgiving turkey or Christmas presents, it all costs more. And what is Joe Biden doing? Hanging out on Nantucket at a billionaire's house eating lobster. I mean, the American people get how bad this administration is. And to have Joe Biden just a few weeks ago say something as dumb as he did, where he said, oh, if we spend $2 trillion more, it will help inflation. There's not a sane person on the planet who believes that. This bill, if it does pass here in the Senate, let's hope it doesn't, it's only going to exacerbate the 31-year high inflation rate we're currently experiencing. So the American people get it, and that's why 71% of the country think we're on the wrong track.
Well, and this is why, of course, we can't really expect anything to get corrected or to change because they think everything's fine. As a matter of fact, speaking of Nantucket, let's listen to Jen Psaki, who had a few things to say about that.
What message does it send to the middle-class Americans President Biden says that he's trying to help, that the president is going to take a few days off at a billionaire's compound in Nantucket?
This is a time to put politics aside, spend time with your loved ones, and talk about what you're grateful for. The American people can be assured that he will continue to press to lower their costs and ensure they have more breathing room.
Well, Congressman Biggs, it really comes down to, once again, a lack of empathy. All of this is a lack of a connection by the people running this country and effectively then the free world because they just can't relate to other people.
Yeah, Tammy, that's exactly right. I mean, he's going to be eating lobster and living it up high on the hog. The rest of us, we're going to be paying more for everything like Jim just said. And they're going to continue to enforce these policies that are going to cause inflation to keep growing. I mean, everything from a screwed up supply chain to they've killed the energy sector. So everything's going to keep going up. And you know what? There's a common denominator to all this, and it's Joe Biden. And he's the guy that's going to be living it up like he's some kind of king or monarch, while the rest of the serfs and the peasants are going to enjoy Thanksgiving. And they don't even want us to have a turkey, and they want us to send guests home. That's how out of touch they are.
You know, I think part of this, of course, is that they just lie about what's going on. And on the other hand, they are living lives that are completely unlike the lives of every other American. But when we think about the lying aspect, I want to bring something else in the midst of all of this when it comes to Biden. But this issue of what now is breaking news about the fact that apparently 82,000 people who came in from Afghanistan were not at all vetted. I mean, this is being exposed. This is I guess the Washington Examiner. Almost none of the 82,000 people, gentlemen, who were airlifted from Kabul specifically in August were vetted. 82,000. They were admitted to the United States. This is now according to a congressional memo. The administration also brought into the U.S. tens of thousands of Afghans who are not qualified on any single level regarding why they should be here. This is a large majority of people, about 75%. They were not American citizens. They were not green card holders. They were not Afghan special immigrant visa holders, but they were effectively strangers to us. And now we're finding, Congressman Jordan, that there were virtually no personal interviews done of these people. What can happen at this point? What are you going to do to hold this administration accountable with what's going to happen here?
Yeah, a couple of things, Tammy. First of all, we find out about this. This story breaks on, Wednesday night before Thanksgiving.
Of course.
Go figure. But we actually knew about this. Andy and I knew about this several months ago and raised this issue when we had Secretary Mayorkas, Secretary Blinken in a briefing for members of the Judiciary Committee. They, in essence, told us what you just described, that there was no real vetting of these individuals. And in fact, we knew this was the case. There was no way they could do what was the debacle of the Afghan exit that Biden presided over. There's no way they could properly vet people. So we knew this happened months ago. We got the briefing from Secretary Blinken and Mayorkas. They as much as told us that. We'll continue to try to hold their feet to the fire and see what we can do going forward. But this was kind of what was expected from this administration that has screwed up everything they have touched.
Yeah, Congressman Biggs, I mean, when we were looking at it is literally, Congressman Jordan, that this issue that nothing has gone right. I mean, even a broken clock is right twice a day. Here, you've got to work hard to have nothing work. I mean, this is now, we're dealing with terrorist issues, right? We're dealing with, we've already had rapes and assaults on our military bases against our troops. Congressman Biggs, there's got to be, this is clearly a national security threat at this point. What are our options when we find out something like this has happened?
Well, I think we have to take it seriously, and I think my opinion is we need to get Mayorkas needs to be replaced. He needs to be fired, and actually, so does Joe Biden. Yeah. But I mean, Tammy, we're up in arms over the Afghanis because they let in 86,000 totally unvetted. But don't forget that Mayorkas has let in about 400,000 getaways across the southern border unvetted.
Great point. Sir, great point. Congressman, thank you very much for being here. Just so much going on, and happy Thanksgiving to you, gentlemen. I appreciate it.
Hey, Sean Hannity here. Hey, click here to subscribe to Fox News YouTube page and catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis. You will not get it anywhere else.